gonna do?
What am I gonna do? This isn't fair. Why, God, why is my internet connection so slow today? Right? Those are the the laments
Right.
we have. Welcome back, everyone, to an almost perfect podcast. We are here in Corpus Christi this morning, hundreds of feet apart, but together in spirit, always, right? It is Tom and I. We are here hosting another. Actually, this will be the 100. Because I told Tom, if you're listening to this episode, then you probably maybe just heard last week's episode because they're both going out in the same week. Because I got caught up in some other stuff. Didn't get a chance to put out last week's episode, but I did pay attention. This one that we're watching, that we're doing right now, will be number 170.
170.
Isn't that something? Isn't that
Yeah,
something?
it's
But
a lot
anyway,
of weeks.
that's a lot of weeks and a lot of wise things. I'm sure talked about and ruminated over.
Yeah,
A
we
lot of
we
world
do. We
problems.
have. Well, I was gonna say we have had guests. So yeah,
We have, and it's about time to get another one, get somebody else in here too. So, I'm John. That's Tom. Tom, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, John. It's good to connect on Monday morning,
Always, always. Monday for us, whatever day it is for
whatever
you.
day it is for you guys.
And as you can tell, man, the boxes are starting to find their way around the house. Things are getting thrown in, and some things are being left out. And yeah, we're that's what our house is starting to look like now, little by little. Especially now, this was going to be a busy year for our family, like no matter what, because our oldest got married at the end of last year in December, and then our youngest got married, and then our middle child, she's gonna get married towards the end of the year. But then our son went into the military. They're having a baby, and then this weekend, our oldest daughter graduated again, and so that was kind of a big thing. And so so now getting a
Okay,
chance
just a
to
second.
get all
So
this news
so
in.
so in this day and time, graduated again could mean she was in pre-kindergarten and got and graduated that. And now she's graduated kindergarten, but she graduated masters.
Well, I guess that means she's graduated four times then, because she did all the kindergarten and pre-kindergarten stuff too. Yeah, she got a master's in public administration. I think that's what she did. So they're at the
Okay.
Island University. Go Durs! So we're excited for that. But so that's what we did this weekend. That's what we did that on Saturday. And then what did we do yesterday, Tom?
Yeah, I watched a pastor throw the baseball from just in front of the pitcher's mound all the way to the uh, home plate. Yeah. So and congratulations to the pastor in doing that because I got the pregame report and we were taking bets as to whether.
I didn't want to I didn't want to have the expectations too high. I wanted everything to be kind of just, normal. And then when we're going up there, the guy was still, spraying down. I thought, I'm not going to get on there and mess up this guy's work. I don't think you're supposed to anyway. So I just, I don't know. I just went out there. It was
Yeah.
fun. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So, yeah, it was fun. It was a church night for us at the Hooks game, and we had a good crowd. That was fun to see. And I'm
Oh
glad.
yeah, really good crowd. And I was going back to where everybody was sitting to where I usually sat, and a couple of friends, Mario and Johnny, came out there, and they found out why I really like sitting out in those rockers in left field.
I
So
know that's
they go,
right.
"Oh, I see why you like this."
That's the good seat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, and it's amazing how dollar hot dogs can just bring everybody together. It's a great American experience, right? Um,
Yeah, well, I know Olivia, who's a wonderful woman, and was sitting next to her, and she spent like $3 on hot dogs, and got three hot dogs or something. $5. Kept saying $5 for the water, and we're all going. Well, the soda's only $1. Well, I don't drink soda. I'm going. I think I would take it up
Yeah, yeah. For a
for
$4
that
drink.
price.
Yeah. Yeah, just
Yeah,
for the night. Just for the
yeah,
night.
just for the night.
Yeah. I was telling Tom about I was going to read something about coffee next week maybe, but then I found out today um I don't know how much I know you love coffee, Tom. And I know a lot of people who
Drinking it
listen and
right
watch,
now.
they love it too. I don't drink coffee. I've tried before, and I love walking down the coffee aisle at HEB. It smells good,
It
especially
smells
when they
good.
got the
Yeah.
little beans, and you can, that's a great smell. But I'm just not real well. I tell the story in seminary actually. I had a I had a lot of work I had to get done, and like in one night, and so I had to do one of them overnighters, which I've never. No, thank you.
All nighter, an all
Yeah.
nighter,
What did I call it?
overnighter. That sounds like
Overnighter.
it's like it says
That's
a
when I
bunch of
bring.
little girls getting it for a pajama party.
Yeah, that's when I bring my pajamas and a sleeping bag. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. Yeah. Um, and so I thought, oh, people always say coffee keeps you up. So I made an entire pot for myself. And I drank about three-quarters of it, and I was asleep by midnight. So it doesn't even work for me that way. So it's not really a thing for me. But I was reading this because this may be helpful to you, Tom, because apparently more and more evidence is saying that coffee is actually good for you. Whereas a few years ago, like cigarettes, they were telling you ease up on the coffee, bro, because, but now it's maybe there are some really good things about it. But which is fine, but this is amazing to me. Um, it is one of the first globally traded commodities connecting producers in Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia to consumers around the world in a $245 billion market. That is a lot of coffee,
That's a
Tom.
lot. Yeah,
That's a lot of coffee.
that's a lot of people drinking it too.
It is. The equivalent of more than 2 billion cups of it are consumed every day.
Yeah, well,
And that's just in your
I'm
house.
on my, I'm on my second cup, maybe third.
So, if you're listening to an almost perfect podcast, pull up another cup of coffee and you'll be all right. But don't
It
take
might
medical
put you to
advice from
sleep.
us.
Yeah.
If you fall asleep during the podcast, it's not the coffee. That's not what's happening. Yeah. So, all right, let's see. What else did I read here? Tom, you do your own laundry. Do you laundry around the house?
Yeah, we I say if you count my wife as do I.
Okay. I'd be curious to know if she knows it. I felt embarrassed. I've been alive almost 50 years, right? And I've done laundry. I do
Yeah, I
laundry,
have to.
right? Um, do you know what the heavy setting is on your washer?
I'm assuming it's like the I would think like blankets or something like that, but enlighten me because
Well,
I don't I don't.
I always thought, yeah, you got big items, heavy items, right? That's what it's for. But anyways, this goofy little article, but a mom put out a video and she mom realizes she's been using the heavy setting on her washer wrong for years. Um, she thought the same thing, that the heavy cycle was for heavy items.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not. It's for heavily soiled items.
That was the other option. And I probably would have said A, heavy items, B, heavily soiled items, C, all of the above. I would have probably gone with
Just
C.
throw them all together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I all these years I've never known. What was cool is um in this video you had just more and more people were like, "Oh, I didn't know that either." Oh, all this time I had no idea. So it's okay to admit when you were wrong about something or you didn't know something. Just, it's fine, right? Because you're probably going to give somebody else a chance to admit they were wrong too. So next time you use your your heavy cycle, use it right. Um,
So that, for whatever reason, it's the fact that you said it's okay to, uh, and I remember reading an article to this day is the gift of second, and and what it was talking about is a lot of times people are hesitant to
hmm
be the first to do something. And I think in this particular case, it was something like all these people are on the hill, and somebody just started rolling down it and having fun. And next thing you know, everybody's rolling down and having fun. And all they needed was that first person. Everybody else received the gift of second.
mm,
And that that includes when we're all standing around and we're hungry, at church, and we're just waiting for somebody to get in line first. And I'm going, I usually, if nobody does that, I'm okay with doing it. I tend to go to the back of the line, but sometimes that gift of second comes in, and I go, okay,
that's true.
I'll be the one. I'll bite the bullet and go first.
Well, when we do that, I always tell everybody, "Oh, what, y'all don't know how to eat all of a sudden? Come on, y'all. Y'all know how this potluck works. Get in line."
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Gift is yeah, because sometimes we just need permission, right? And
Yep.
we don't want to be the ones to like, for whatever reason. And so yeah, to be that person and say, yeah, go for it, right? Which is like, I mean, obviously for us connecting this to like church stuff, but like that's to me that's the power of testimony as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I give
That
my
first
testimony.
person.
Yeah, I give somebody else permission to say, oh, well, maybe I've had something like that happen too. I never really thought that that was something I could, think of in that term. So yeah, don't be afraid to be the first one. It's good. Okay. Let's see what else I got open on my computadora here. Let's see. Ooh, so all the so I hear so many articles about the AI data centers popping up all over the country. And I think there's one proposed to be somewhere close to us right now. Is that right?
Hope they don't need water.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things, right? Like that's what that's the biggest thing. Like these things they consume so much water and so many other resources, so on and so
Yeah.
forth. But um, here's something interesting. Um, Let's see. 7 in 10 Americans oppose local construction of AI data centers. Okay. 7 out of 10 people, right? Let me see if I can find the same one. Oh, and for reasons, it's the effect on resources, water excess, energy consumption, environmental impact, loss of farmland and wildlife, deforestation, eyesore, waste of natural resources, so on and so
They're
forth.
big, right?
I'm
They're
sorry?
they're huge, aren't
They're
they?
pretty big. Yes, sir. They are pretty big. And but then here's the here's the part I want to like get to. If I can find it here. So 7 out of 10 people, right?
Uh-huh.
Women are also more likely than men to register strong opposition. Okay, where's let me find it here because this just trips me out because uh oh yeah, the data center question parallels the wording that Gallup. This is all from a Gallup poll, by the way. So the wording that Gallup uses to ask about local nuclear plant construction. In the same March survey, 53% of Americans say they oppose building a nuclear energy plant in their area. So, no data centers, but give me a nuclear plant, and okay, I guess I can live with that. Are those our choices in the modern world, Tom?
In our
Green-eyed
case,
fish or
desalinization. Uh,
desalination is our big thing. You're right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one we need to practically attend to.
Figure that out. Yeah. We don't
Well, the other thing is there's a point where you go, we've been arguing about this for a long time, but now we have to make a decision.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a whole other topic, isn't it?
Yeah,
How we
yeah,
let things go until it's too late and then we wonder. why everything's happening. For me, thinking about that is, the data center question is kind of like everywhere right now, right? You hear it on the news and people, and so I figure that's probably why, oh no, 7 out of 10 people, no way, Jose. But a nuclear plant, I mean, I guess, whatever, right? But since that's on our minds right now in a way that nuclear plants aren't, maybe that's why, it's part of our human way
But
we just kind of think about things.
I was going to say, and most of us are making those decisions very clearly out of ignorance. We really don't know. Um, I, you know, the AI uh, is going. I I know they're big. I don't know why I know they're big, but I know they're big.
Somebody told me, right?
Yeah, I've never seen the what's it AI? What's it power plant or whatever it
Data
is,
center.
data center. There you
Mhm.
go. See, I can't even attach the right name to it, much less
A
tell you
nuclear data
describe it.
center? Is that what we're
Yeah,
looking at? AI nuclear thermal plant? Well, if The
yeah.
Simpsons didn't
Nuclear
teach us
power plant. Uh,
anything, I mean, we really don't want three-eyed fish running around. That's what I remember from The Simpsons. So I'll take neither. You know what? I'm moving. That's it. I'm just getting out of here. That's if you're gonna make me choose between a data center and a nuclear plant, I'm out of here, Tom.
yeah, well, you're moving from where it's kind of dry right now to where it's always dry,
Yeah. Arid, I think is the word.
semi-arid.
Semi.
So I
Yeah.
was not far. My first church wasn't far from there.
Very good. Okay. So here's the article I really wanted to talk about. You ever been to Mardi Gras, Tom?
I have not. I think out of my six siblings, I think one sister has been. I don't know if anybody else has been. I know she's been. I don't think anybody else has.
Now, of course, when we say that,
Oh,
we mean
five
like
siblings. I'm the sixth. Sorry.
um, we mean like the big one here in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
I've never been to New Orleans. Galveston, it was always a big deal. Remember going as a kid every year. They have 2 weeks of it. The week before is like the pre-parade. There's the kid parade, and it's not as heavy. It's that one's actually during the day. And then the following week is like the big one. It's at night, and it's wild. It's crazy. High school band, marching in the parade. I I was accosted several times as a drummer, and so it's just a wild experience.
What does accosted mean to
They
accost?
got me. They
Huh?
got me. They grabbing all over the place, man. It was it's a rough time, man, to be a drummer at Mardi Gras. So, um, but never been to New Orleans. But so anyway, but I have been these past few months thinking a lot about creation care. That's was part of my semester reading and several assignments and different things. So I've been thinking about that more than probably usual than I normally do. But New Orleans wants to fix its Mardi Gras mess. Okay. So here it is. Mardi Gras happens. It's a great time. If you've ever been to Mardi Gras, you know, maybe even if you haven't, you don't know all the parades and the floats, and on the floats, people are throwing out things to the people in the crowds, and they're throwing out Mardi Gras beads, which I have a collection of Mardi Gras beads actually. My
From Galveston or
Galveston and on the peninsula on the other side, a lot of the ones that I have, actually, my grandfather, he was big into it in the small communities across the ferry from Galveston. They would do stuff, and so I've just got a whole pile of. Matter of fact, I got a couple of them just standing here, hanging here right now. You know what? In the spirit of our conversation, just a couple of them. All right, just a couple. These are the ones I
okay.
have out. So. I have many, many more. Anyway, so yeah, you throw these out, you get them, and they're fun. And most of them are like the little cheap ones, nothing to them. Some of them are a little more elaborate. But in New Orleans, the problem is a lot of these beads, a lot of trash gets left behind. Tom, you read the article. Would you
Yeah.
have guessed how? Would you have guessed? correctly or even close to the number of tonnage of trash is left behind after Mardi Gras?
No, no. At the most, I would have guessed half of what actually
I
you
don't
said.
think I would have been even half, man. This is
Yeah.
just wild. So, when cleaning crews dug deep into New Orleans clogged drains back in 2018, this is 2018, they pulled up leaves, mud, and 46 tons of Mardi Gras beads. That's in 2018. All right. Now, nearly a decade later, New Orleans is generating more Mardi Gras garbage than ever. During the roughly 5 weeks of this year's carnival season, this year, crews collected 1,363 tons of beaded necklaces, beer cans, plastic cups, and other refuse along the city's parade routes. Excuse me, a 24% increase from the year before and the highest total on record. 1,363 tons, or the equivalent of 741 cars. Or if you're like me, you care about King's Cake, roughly more than 1 million King Cakes. That's a lot of
And
garbage, Tom.
that's a lot of garbage. And
That's a lot of garbage. Actually,
beads, plastic toys, cheap trinkets is what it is.
trinkets and yeah, just really garbage, but it's left behind for somebody else to clean up. I'm actually in my message yesterday. I don't know if I wasn't thinking like this, but I mentioned that idea about how's it go? Take only photos, leave only footprints, right? Don't leave a mess behind. Nobody told that to the Mardi Gras people. So we got a deal. So, all right, Tom. So what what does this have to do with being a follower of Jesus? Why in the world is like what does this speak to for us about to understanding something about how we're faithful to God? What leaving all our trash behind? What's the problem here?
Well, one of the things we need to recognize is that we in the United States are good at producing and consuming products. And there's moments, specifically I think of during World War I, World War II, uh, where we were focused on, uh, whether it's just a simple fact, we went from producing a lot of cars for us to consume to a lot of military hardware in a very short amount of time, and that made a difference. And specifically, I'm thinking of World War II. Is our focus was dealing with basically a very terrible uh, uh, regime, whatever you want to say. I mean, when we think of the worst person in history, almost always the number one is Adolf Hitler. So we were addressing his terror and the things that he was doing and directing. And so we responded to a specific threat in a very powerful way. On the other hand, and then the war ended, and we still needed to produce a lot of things from our factories and find people to consume them, and we've been pretty good at doing that
Mm.
ever since. And this is, I don't know. Uh, I know we've been the world leader for a long time. I don't know that we are now in producing things, uh, and always looking for a way to find consumers around the world. So it's just unique to our culture, the American culture.
Yeah, I thought we had left that back a while ago. Yeah. Let's see. China, the undisputed global manufacturing powerhouse, accounting for over 28% of total global manufacturing output. Valued
Yeah.
at more than $5.6 trillion, dollars, the United States comes in and second, focusing heavily on automotives, aircraft, and advanced electronics. So, Or
Yeah,
number
yeah.
two.
I knew at one point we had been number one for a long time, but
Right.
China has at some point they caught up, and now they've surpassed us.
Yeah, they're surpassed us. So either way, we're still good at this, but to what end, and what are some of the results that man, now we got to figure out how do we deal with the consequences of, where we are as far as producing, consuming, like so much of our culture is consumeristic, right? So
Yeah,
much of
but
who we are and how we are communicated to is on a consumeristic level, right? We aren't people as much as we are customers,
yeah,
and
the
that
appeal.
changes. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and I was thinking, what 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 we have done in our culture is to create. Uh, create images over and over again that create a need that you never felt until you had seen, for the sixth or seventh time, whatever it is. And I'll give you an example of something that happens, at least to me, and my guess is to a large number of people, is you're watching something at night, whether you're streaming it or watching it live on TV, and then the commercial comes up for Taco Bell or Burger King or McDonald's, and suddenly you're going, "Man, I want to," I'm hungry for a burger when I wasn't hungry at all prior to seeing that, and 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 it has created something, a need. It has created an itch that needs to be scratched that wasn't there prior to seeing it. And this goes, through. I need a new car. I need a new house. I need a new boat. I need a whatever. And the
Yeah.
thing is, the desire and the ability to meet that desire has shortened from, I don't even have to get up off the couch. I can pick up my phone, and next thing you know, somebody's delivering,
And you
or
can same day delivery.
Amazon will have it to us the next day.
Next day or the same day in some cases. Yeah, yeah. So, and that's just a wild thing to when you realize how far we've come to be able to have that kind of access. And in one sense, it's pretty good. I have what I need and it's there. But another is like, dang, we can't even wait for stuff, right?
Right. Well,
We don't
and
have to.
on top of everything else, it's man, I get what I need. And of course, yesterday I didn't even know I needed it.
Yeah, I didn't know I needed 4 hot dogs yesterday, but they were $1 each.
Yeah,
I did not eat 4 hot dogs at the game yesterday, by the way.
I ate one and a half.
I had 2 3/4. So, but yeah, anyway. So I think there's a lot of angles we can kind of, use this article, this experience to talk about, and several of them maybe we can get to today. But certainly, this throwaway culture that we're kind of used to, um, kind of buy into. It's you get what you get and you're done with it, so you throw it away, right? The things that we buy, I mean, they're not meant to be fixed anymore, right? Like I made a decision on my phone that, I'm not gonna buy the new phone. I used to always buy the new phone when it came out just because, I'm having the new one. But to realize that, I don't know, after that 2 years, I don't know, that everything starts to go wrong with the phone. It's different now, right? We're not meant to, even the washing machines, right? How many of us, we went decades without buying a washing machine before, but now it's like every 5 6 7 years, oh, you got to buy a new washing machine because they break down. They're just not, built the same way, and part of that is
Probably because you're using the heavy
we're using the heavy
heavy,
we're using the
heavy
heavy
wash.
setting wrong.
Yeah,
Well, because before it used to be on, off, right? Hot or cold, but now it's, there's like seven different, thing. And then like go to the grocery store. I don't know. I want to get milk, but then there's like whole milk, half milk, quarter milk, divided by two milk, and then there's this kind of milk, and like I don't
Soy.
know, right? Or even like when I talking about coffee, I'll go with my wife or the kids or whatever, and we go to a coffee place, and I look at the menu like I don't know what any of what this is coffee? I guess I don't know. You got anything chocolate? That's my go-to. What's the most chocolate thing you have? That's what I want. So, anyway,
I was thinking one of the places Ella and I just got back from Springfield, Missouri last week, and there's this place I had been to it once, and I go, I don't remember what it was, but I and we stopped someplace, and I go, I think this is it. So I go in, and sure enough, it's got the the coffee machine in the back, and it's unique, but what was helpful is it's got a little sign there that says, this is what a macchiato is. This is what a latte is. This is what a cappuccino is.
I would
I would
appreciate
order something, know I liked it, but I didn't know what
it.
it
Know what it was?
was. Yeah.
Is that the
Now
one you
I
got?
kind
Yeah.
of do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good. So, in throwaway culture, I feel like part of what we're sort of trained to do is to consume, right? Consume the experience, and that being a difference, perhaps between actually sort of living in the moment of the experience, treasuring the spirit experience, even. And so, I thought that'd be helpful for us today because in a weird kind of way, we don't at Sunday worship, we don't throw trinkets out. Maybe I should start throwing Mardi Gras beads out right before a sermon. Maybe that would change things. But there are still some aspects of kind of throwaway culture, I guess. Just come in, come out, be done, and kind of move on kind of way where we did what we had to do and now we're done. And instead of, all right, this is an important time, intentional time, and let's kind of figure out how we might, to use the word I gave Tom, treasure that maybe. So,
Yeah.
where do you see this argument, Tom, about learning how to just consume another experience, consume another event, dollar hot dog night at the bog park or Mardi Gras or even worship, versus how you learn to actually treasure them for what they are or what they could be?
There was a coach, Dan Quinn, I think, who was defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. And I remember, and and now he's head coach for Washington, but he was being courted, let's say, by other teams, and I remember his statement is that I want my mind, my head, to be where my feet are. In other words, this is where I am, and I'm going to uh, relish or focus on the experience where I am. I'm not thinking to the next step, and I appreciated that that basically little mantra: keep your head where your feet are. Um, and I was telling you, Ella and I went to a baseball game on Saturday, and it wasn't we weren't I was planning on being there. She originally wasn't planning on being there, but we got free tickets from a friend anyway. And because of that, I always go early, and she knows I go early. But this time she came early with me, and I was going around and meeting the people I meet pretty much every time I go to the ballpark. I walk all the way around. Well, I remember just this one moment before the game. I just kind of check in. Hi, how are you doing? Good to see you. And then move on. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Well, in this particular case, I introduced her to a friend, and then they got into a conversation, and I was there, probably maybe 10 minutes, and I realized I always was in a hurry prior to the game, and I didn't have these kind of long conversations where you actually learn something about the other person, what he or she is going through. And I think kind of bringing that into this conversation, so often we're looking for the next thing to buy or to experience or to, our mind at worship is going through the checklist of all the other things that we have to do that day or that week, and we don't we sing the song, but we don't sing the song with our mind and our feet in the same place. And part of what it is to be a follower of Jesus Christ is to learn to find our pleasure in being in the presence of God and experiencing what it is to slow down and be still and know that I am God. And in consumerism, we don't do that because we're trying to move on to the next thing, the next purchase, the next trip, the next whatever.
Yeah, and I think that that just it shows its face in a lot of different ways. And if we're talking about this Mardi Gras deal, it's like, okay, I got what I needed out of it, and I'm done with it. Maybe I maybe I fought somebody to catch the beads that were thrown at me, and then who cares? And then I just throw it away. That's the throwaway part. And so yeah, then it's just on to the next thing. And yeah, that is a mindset that keeps you going in a particular direction, and it's never one that says, "Let me stop," right? Let me slow down, like you said, and really take into account what's happening around me in a good way. And so there's a part in our worship, not a part, but a tool that I give every week in our program. I have a section that says, what do you want to remember about today? Right. And what I'm hoping people will do is they'll look at that and say, oh, I've never thought about that. All right, what do I want to remember about today? Maybe it was something in the sermon, sure, or maybe it was, well, this is the day that somebody visited for the first time, or somebody became a member, or so and so was baptized, right? So I want us to learn to uh, in worship say, let me actually pay attention to what's happening here, so that for a lot of reasons, but so that worship doesn't become just another thing that we do. That's just what we have to do and get it over with before we go eat lunch or go get whatever else for Sunday. But exactly what you're saying, Tom, just slowing down to be able to notice. And because I think as you notice more what these moments are, or what they're supposed to be, or what they are becoming, I think you do treasure them more. I think you do appreciate them more, right? So that then church service isn't just a church service. It's a moment of worship, right? Where you felt you were giving your heart to God, or you felt some sense of the presence of God and communion with God in some way. And I don't know that you do that or do that very well if you're just kind of rushing through. And church is just another thing you come to get when you're done with it. You just kind of throw it away, and you just forget about it, right? So I think you said it well, to learn to slow down, right? And also throw away your bulletins or recycle them or take them with you. Don't leave them in the pews, right? These are not Mardi Gras beads. The same problem they're having in New Orleans, churches around the world. Well, I don't know about around the world, but certainly in America, every Sunday, the amount of church bulletins and tissues, and when we were doing communion with little cups, you'd find those packed in there and all kind of stuff. Take your stuff with you, y'all. Don't leave a mess behind. So,
Clean up after yourself.
yeah,
But
leave
in
footprints.
yeah, and yesterday, well, last couple of days, Saturday, Sunday, um, the moments where I really enjoyed the moments, including in worship, was like the meet and greet. But yesterday, I paused, looked at the person who was talking to me. I was not in a hurry to move on to the next person, and and there was something very, very special about just stopping and listening and not hurrying on. And then I think about last night. I was bopping back and forth between where the church was, where we were sitting, and then out in left field where is my preferred place to sit. And and in the moment that I really cherish was when I was in my favorite place, which is left field in the rocking chair, and on one side was the 12-year-old, the sixth grader that I've gotten to know over the baseball season. On the other side was a friend from church, and and had time to hear more of his story and pay attention, watch what's going on the baseball field, but not necessarily talking about baseball. It was just a special gift, and so when we come back to this, for me, it's we can consume and take in a lot, or we can slow down and just savor a moment that we wouldn't realize unless we stop long enough to have our head and our feet in the same place.
Yeah. Because I mean, throwaway culture. I mean, you can even throw away people, right?
Oh yeah,
People can just be another thing that you use for whatever you need at the moment, and you don't give much attention to who they are or what's really happening in response to what's going on between the two of you or more of you, whatever. So yeah, this extends to our relationships as well. And so, slowing down for the people around you too. So all that to say, clean up your mess after Mardi Gras, clean up your mess after worship, slow down, pay attention to what's happening in the moment, right? And let those moments be what they can be. 'Cause I think if you slow down and pay attention, you'll realize that there are more things going on and more things that are important that maybe you don't realize if you just let's get out of here. We got to get to Luby's. Does anybody go to Luby's after church anymore? Is that still a thing? I don't know.
I probably
Yes, I don't know. I haven't been to Luby's in forever. I don't know. Nothing against Luby's. Sorry. My
well,
wife loves the
I
fries.
was thinking I've been there, I think once or twice here in Corpus Christi since we moved here. Over 10 years at the most, I've been there twice, and it was because someone wanted, that's where they wanted to meet. So,
I think we have the same
um,
story.
the one thing I was going to say, here's the challenge for this week.
Yes.
See if you
Finishes
can
with a
see if
challenge.
you, yeah, see if you can between episodes go without ordering anything on Amazon.
Ooh. Well, that's okay. My wife, I don't think she watches the podcast, so that's okay. She won't hear that challenge, and so I rarely order anything, so it's okay for me. But heard, I hear you. Be mindful of
Well, I
what
was
you
thinking
throw
the
away.
only time we had like a 2 week period of, of not buying anything from Amazon, and for at least a week of it, we were out to sea and had no connection. And I'm going, yeah, you know, going on a cruise probably saved us quite a bit of money.
It's right. It's all there. You have everything you need. Yeah. Okay, friends. So we'll leave it at that. Yeah. Again, I think there's a lot of things you could say about creation care in this whole deal about garbage, of course, and throwing stuff away. But for us today, being in the moment, being letting the moments be what they need to be. Speaking of, this was this was what was on. I keep it together, and it doesn't match, but that's from my alma mater, UTSA. Go Road Runners,
I
birds
was going to
up.
say that I did not know that was your alma mater. I know your
Yes,
son
sir.
attended.
Yeah, go Rowdy. Yeah. So, yeah. So chew on that some more. Learn to be in the moment. Slow down. It's worth it because life is full of these moments, and we don't want to just throw them away. So, I'll leave it at that. Tom, thank you for the gift of your time. Always appreciate your insight. Wish you had a cool hat like me. If you need some Mardi Gras beads, don't order them from Amazon because that would go against Tom's challenge that he just gave you. But ask me, maybe I can give you one. I may have
Find
some.
out John's address and knock on his
That's
door.
right.
Hey, you got any extras?
You got any extras? So, And other than that, have a great rest of the week, and God be with you. We're going to take a brief pause, Tom. Now I can find that break easier.